chat about it.
What if I say?
Make we chat about it.
Or on left?
Make we chat about it.
Check and feel at the topic.
Make we chat about it.
Latest
Make we
news.
chat about it.
All your
Make we
views.
chat about it.
Track and feel chat for say with your girl HP.
Hey, hey, hey. Well, look who is here already. Mr. Lansford, you are very early, sir. Welcome. Welcome, each and everyone. Welcome to another night of track and field business. And of course, we are in the athletes corner. Where are they now? But wherever you're coming from, welcome. Whether you're tuning in from Europe, from Asia, from Antarctica, Oceanic, North America, South America, Africa. I hope I got all 7 continents. Welcome, guys. Welcome, each and everyone, whether you're joining me from YouTube or Facebook. Welcome, welcome. And I must apologize for not being here last week. Yes, last week I had a family event. I unfortunately I lost a loved one to the grave. So last week we were celebrating her life. So I wasn't here. Plus it was the Pens relay and you all were busy up and about cheering for Jamaica. So last week I was out, but I am back tonight and I am back in full force. And I'm not by myself. I have an outstanding Jamaican athlete from the East. She attended high school in the East, St. Mary. A matter of fact, she attended high school in Kingston and in St. Mary. But of course, St. Mary High was where she became a force. So with me tonight, can anyone guess St. Mary High School? Can anyone guess who this is? She won Girls Champs 1976 and 1977. Welcome each and everyone. Welcome Lansford Diamond, Track Diamond. Welcome, 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 welcome. With me tonight is none other than, can anyone guess who this person is? Okay, with me tonight is Doreen Small. Doreen Small, formerly of St. Mary High School. And this lady will be telling us a lot tonight about her story and how it started. And of course, as I said before, she won Girls Champs 1976 and 1977. The battle between St. Mary High and Veer Technical, of course, we will talk about that a little bit more. Doreen Small, welcome to HP Chat Track. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
How are you doing? How was your day?
It was full. It was full, but good. Very rewarding. I tried to make it that way,
Great. Thank you. Thank you. You had a great day. My day was a little eventful, very busy and eventful. So I do understand. But Doreen, we are going to get right into it. Tell me a little bit about Doreen Small before you became a big deal. Who is Doreen Small? Which parish you hail from? Just give us a little bit about your childhood to break the ice.
Okay. First of all, thank you for those who are joining. I was born in Westmoreland, South Lamar Hospital. And then my parents both worked for the government. So you know how that normally you move around from parish to parish. So we moved from Westmoreland to Portland. And then while I was growing up, I loved my grandmother where she lived. So I left Portland and then I went to Trelawney. I got tired of that. I left Trelawney. I went back to Portland where I did my common entrance. and I went to Camperdown High School for 2 years. Um, the home setting, it was fine, but for those of you who know me, I'm hyperactive, a busybody. I can't keep still. And living in Kingston, you were in a house, not back in the country. You can go out in the street. One of the things that I enjoyed doing was to go fishing after school. I couldn't, I couldn't live that kind of life. So
You couldn't do that in Kingston,
no,
right?
no, no, no,
Come
no, no,
on now, I'm a Kingston
no,
girl.
no. I'm a country girl. Trust me. So after 2 days, 2 years rather, of living, I told my mother, I've had enough. And she took me back to St. Mary, to Portland. And then the commute was kind of hectic because we had to get up, in the mornings to catch a train at 6, not a train, the diesel. And if you miss it, then you have to hitch a ride. Back then, it was easy to hitch rides. So I was boarded with these Indians in Highgate. That was short lived because I wanted to be home. And then my mom eventually she realized now you need to be home. So I went home to Portland. Of course, my friends next door. I lived next door to Bobby Leslie, who played goalie for Titchfield. So naturally the rivalry called me a traitor and all that good stuff.
The
It was all
rivalry from the East, right?
yes, yes. So I would catch the train in the mornings, the diesel, I'm sorry, I keep saying it. The train was to come home at night from track practice and the diesel in the morning. So what my mother did, she would cook breakfast for the driver, for the diesel. So they would never leave me. No matter how late I am, they would wait for me. And that's how I
So let me
was able
ask
to
you
get there.
something. Let me
Yeah.
ask you something now, Doreen. Before we get into your track and field career, I was trying to keep in my memory the different parishes. So you started out in Westmoreland,
Uh-huh.
then to Trelawney,
Mm-hmm.
then to Portland,
Mm-hmm.
then to Kingston,
No, back to Trelawney.
back to Trelawney,
Yes. And then back to Portland and then to Kingston.
and then to Kingston. All
Yeah.
right, we're in Kingston now. You attended Camperdown High School, the
Uh-huh.
Sprint Factory, as they call it, the
Yeah.
Sprint Factory, and you
Uh-huh.
also attended St. Mary High School. At what age or what level you discovered that you had a passion or a knock for track and field?
Well, um, I just never I always enjoyed running. And I'm a tomboy by nature. So wherever I would go, it's no walking. I'm always running. As a matter of fact, the name I got on campus for college in college was by Sharon Moffat was Speedy because she's like
Speedy.
Speedy. Yes, if I was in heels, flats, whatever. But my seventh grade year at Camperdown um, wasn't so good. I came. You know how you have the 4 rounds. I came dead last, but for some reason I wasn't discouraged because I'm not a quitter.
Wow.
I wasn't discouraged. That didn't phase me any. And
Doreen,
then
who run and come last and don't feel discouraged? Tell me now.
me,
Wow.
it's life. And
Indeed, indeed.
when you grow up in a house with 8 people, 8 kids, and a younger brother who you're always going at it with, it's like a bump in the road, so to speak. And then eighth grade year, I came second to last. So
so,
I move up
so
one
you're
spot.
moving up. You're moving
Yes,
up.
moving up to the east side.
Yep, yep, yep,
Yes,
yep.
yes. So, and then I was transferred to St. Mary High School.
All right, let us talk about St. Mary. St. Mary has become my new parish. Let us talk about St. Mary High School. What was the culture like moving from Kingston to Camperdown to the east, St. Mary High School? How different were the cultures?
Um, it, I don't think there was much difference. It was how I responded to people. If you understand if I make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
I can just tell a simple situation. Um, there was a classmate of mine. I won't name him. And the first couple weeks in, I was in class. The teacher wasn't there, and he said something to me, and he touched my face. I don't know him, and I'm not. I'm very outspoken. I don't bite my tongue, and I don't sugarcoat things. And he touched me in the face, and I said to him, "Yo," I said, "Don't do it again." And he thought it was funny. And of course, class clown. He has it. Everybody laughing and chuckling. I boxed him. My 5 fingers were marking his face
Wow.
because I gave you warning. I tell you don't do it, and you do it again. You know. And yeah, yeah.
So what came out of that? Were you suspended? Were
For who?
you
No, I warned him. There was no teacher in the classroom.
a
There
woman
was no
defend
cameras in the classroom.
a woman defending herself? And this was like back in the 70s.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Girls Champs started in 1957. You competed at Girls Champs 1974 to 1978. Tell us a little bit about this period for you at St. Mary High School, because you would have been to a school that you have the likes of Lilith Hodges, who is another outstanding Jamaican athlete, Jackie Pusey, another outstanding. Tell me a little bit about your high school journey at St. Mary High School as an athlete.
Um. Well, I played netball as well. So going from Camperdown to St. Mary High School, I tried out for netball because netball was before track. I made a netball team, and then track came around. The first coach I had was Mr. Clark, and I won't ever forget because um, I didn't really know how. I didn't have a proper form. So when I run, instead of running, I was doing this with the right hand around the corner. And he said to me, "Yo, Doreen, that cannot work. You cannot run, you cannot win races like that." So he told my mother, unbeknown to me, to make sure that every night when I got home, I had to go in front of the mirror with a towel over my neck and to work on the form. And because I wanted to get better, I put the work in. Now, unlike Camperdown, where we practice at St. Mary High School, I don't remember having 100 meters diagonal because it was just a small area.
Mhm.
But it didn't deter us. I think it made us stronger. And when we had to go down to run and to come back up the hill, and I look back now and I don't remember having water during practice. Those simple things that now, as the kids run
And
one lap,
and
they want
no,
a
you
gallon of
have
water.
athletes. No, you have athletes as they run 50 meters. They want electrolytes. They want water.
Precisely.
They want snack.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you won Girls Champs. I see you're wearing your
Very proud, very proud,
St. Mary High School
very proud.
Champs shirt. You won Girls Champs 1976 and 1977 with St. Mary High School. St. Mary High is one of a few schools who can boast that they've won Girls Champ. What was the secret behind St. Mary High's success back to back? I mean, a little birdie told me that Veer Technical wasn't there in 1976. That was why you guys won. But you came back 1977 and you won. What was the secret?
We had a coach by the name of Lister Horton James after Mr. Clark passed on. And, you know, it's interesting whenever I think of St. Mary High School, I cannot help but think about Horton James. And he coach probably is about maybe 5'5", 5'6", if that much. Chubby, chubby man. I don't know if coach ever ran track in his life. But one of the things that he always emphasizes is that we need to run like cats on a hot brick. And practice was intense but fun. um I don't recall, like these kids nowadays vomiting and all of that stuff, because I think we were better prepared mentally. We adjusted or adapted to the little we had, because we didn't have much like Queens or the other big name schools. We just had athletes that were willing, and we were unified, and we had a coach that wouldn't settle for anything less than the best.
Pride. It was
Yes,
about pride.
absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
Both you and Jackie were on the same team that won 1977, dominating. I'm not even going to talk about 1976 because word have it that you guys won because their entries were denied 1976 because they were late. But 1977, that battle, you guys battling there, how much of that you remember 1976 going up against the powerhouse of very technical?
Um, one thing I can tell you, having Jackie there as the leader, all I did was just follow her lead. It's like we know what we had to do, and we did what we did, what was necessary. Um, we were never afraid, or I don't remember going into a race being nervous about who is to my left or who is to my right. All we were concerned with is getting to that finish line first. You know, um, we were never intimidated, because with Jackie, as a high schooler, was already competing for Jamaica. So I learned a lot from her, just being around her, and we had a lot of conversations, and along with having her sister Heather Pusey, she too was on the team. So when you have those strong leaders, you can't help but rise up.
Wow, indeed, indeed. So, was there any time when you guys think that okay, we cannot do this because we're up against Veer Technical? Because Veer was actually going after like 20 straight titles, and you guys brought that up.
Team,
Team, indeed,
team,
team.
team. It wasn't about no one person. Now, um, I didn't realize there's so much things that until it was brought to me on paper that I did high jump at champs. I didn't remember that. I mean, not high jump, long jump. Sorry, but whatever it took to get points, um, coach put us in the events, and we went and we performed to the best of our abilities. And there were people who were not as popular, to say, so to speak, like Jackie and myself. They, because of the level that we took it to, it helped them to get to another level. you know um when you are with with caliber athletes like Jackie was, she there's certain expectations, and you're not wanting to let her down, because if you let her down, you're letting St. Mary High School down.
Yeah.
So we just
How did the team feel? Jackie made the Olympic team at age 16. She was a little girl. She was still in high school. How did that help the team knowing that an Olympian was on this champs team?
that's where the fuel came from. She fueled our fire, because in not just in encouraging us, but her work ethics. Because Jackie didn't like to lose, because she'll just duck her head and that's it. I remember, I don't remember which champs it was, with the 4x1 relay. And I guess Camperdown thought that they had that 4x1 relay under wraps. And I did the third leg. Jackie was on anchor. I kind of cleaned up a little bit to take some, I took some of the pressure off her on that third leg, and she went to work, and we won that 4x1.
But
And
Doreen,
we weren't supposed to win.
Camperdown is also your alma mater. How could you do that to Camperdown?
It you It used to be.
Used to, oh my word.
Remember,
You,
I only went to Camperdown for 2 years.
I know,
And
right?
remember, I did nothing track wise at Camperdown. Nothing against Camperdown because I have my friends, my college roommate, who is now my tennis buddy, that we watch tennis virtually, Miss Moffat. But back then, it was in the past.
Yes, I get it totally, totally. Let us talk about Carifta. Carifta Games, you won under 17 in the 100 meters, 1976. You came back 1978 in the under 20 and you won triple gold, the 100, the 100-meter hurdles, and the 4x1. Tell me a little bit about your Carifta journey.
Um, 76 was an eye opener because that was my first time, leaving the country. And if my memory serves me correct, um, I just happened to have gone to Kingston to watch the track meet, and someone said, "Why don't you, try out?" And I did, and I made the team. I did not think beyond my wildest imagination that I would have won the 100. And as I have a picture that I remember Clifton Forbes, with Clifton Forbes, which said, the Turning Point Medal. I didn't realize that, um, I guess the more work you put into something, the better you get, and the easier it becomes. However, it still gets harder because now you're a target, and
Yes.
everybody's gunning after you.
Mhm.
So 77 in Barbados, I got third. Wasn't happy, but at the same time, it wasn't bad considering it's my first year to medal. It speaks volume. And then 78 in the Bahamas. What really fueled me was when we got off the plane, there was a almost a life-size picture of Orly Fowler in the airport saying, "Orly Fowler set to win gold."
Wow. How
And
dare they did that?
my point exactly.
What a disrespect.
Yes, yes, because I guess they forgot that 2 years ago I won the 100, and I'm back. And I end up, the only thing she saw was my spikes,
Dust.
my back. Yes, yes, yes. So those
Triple.
things, that kind of stuff, when people say that you can't do something, I know who I am. I know whose I am, and because of him, I'm gonna motor through.
Indeed, 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 indeed. And I've seen this so many times where someone is, tipped to win an event, kind of disrespecting, not really disrespecting, but kind of putting a shadow over other competitors, and some dark horse come through and win that event. But tell me about that 200-meter that you line up with Merlin Otti. Tell me about that 200 meters. I want to
Hi,
hear about that 200 meters with you and Merlin Otti, who was just coming on the scene.
she beat me barefooted.
Merlin beat
Yes,
you barefooted.
yes,
Tell me
yes,
about that race.
yes. I gave her enough respect then. Um, I am not one to run beyond 150 meters. Never liked it, but I was forced to. So naturally I did it. And we had this head to head. And you know how sometimes you think you have the race won
Mm-hmm.
and you slow down at the finish line, and there came Merlin. There came Merlin O, and she beat me.
So
And
did you have any idea who Merlin was at that time?
no, ma'am, that was my first time. I remember telling Vilma Charlton, I said, "Vilma, I don't know who this girl is, but she beat me barefoot. They need to find her." Yeah.
Wow. So you actually helped to bring
Hey,
um
don't make me lie. She beat me. She beat me.
I know, but what I'm saying is that even though she defeated you,
Mm-hmm.
you called the spotlight on her for them to find her and find out who she is, and to ensure that she became who she that is very commendable.
You have to help each other.
Yep.
And if you have the same goal and you're on the same team, woe to me to know and not to help.
Indeed.
So
Indeed. And
that didn't come from me. That came from my mother. And as I said, we're from a family of 8, and whoever else I could bring home from the from high school, or my sisters would bring home, and that's just how we are, taking care of each
I'm
other.
I'm wondering if Merlene Otti remember that race that she actually defeated you barefooted. I would love to ask her, but before we go any further, let me just welcome each and everyone joining us. We have on the live here, we have Etlin Tate, a former VAR technical standout and Olympian. There we have Track Diamond, a very knowledgeable track and field fan. We have Marlene Green. Everyone, thank you for being here. Going back to Miss, the outstanding Miss Doreen Small, formerly of St. Mary. Guys, she is wearing her St. Mary High shirt. Look at her shirt, St. Mary High, winner of Girls Champs. She did not just win at Girls Champs, but St. Mary High won Girls Champs 1976 and 1977. But let me ask you before I go to my next question. 1978. Can you remember what happened at Girls Champs 1978?
Not much.
Not
Much.
much.
Not
But
much.
you remember that the Queen School with one Grace Jackson.
Well, as they say, what happened was Jackie and I went to Africa. And looking back, it wasn't a good move, because we came back from Africa on Tuesday. Girls Champ started on Thursday. We were both jet lagged. All I can tell you, I know in the 200 prelims, I don't know what happened. I know I woke up in the first aid room with my mother next to me. Because I guess she came to the track meet or something. I don't know how she got there. And that year, it was like we weren't the same, because when you have to travel from Africa to London, London to Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania to Kingston, it was a very long flight. And
Wow, you actually traveled 3 continents to
yeah,
get home.
right. Yes.
Let us segue to university, to college in the United States. That's a far away from home, a far away from home. What was the transition like from the Jamaican culture to the American culture back in the 1970s?
It was a rude awakening.
Wow.
If I had a round trip ticket, I would have gone back home. Just without fail.
Tell us a little bit about that.
When I got to college, I was not informed or educated as to my needs, because in spite of my mother would have made sure that I would have the things that I needed. So I got to college. We had bunk beds. I didn't know anything about bunk beds because we had all full-size beds at home. I had no sheets. I had no towels. I had no toiletries. So my first night when I got in, my coach sent his secretary to pick me up, and I spread out my robes and my nightgowns on the mattress. I covered it and that's how I slept that night. The next day, my coach's secretary, I'll never forget her name. Her name was Donna, old white lady. She took me shopping, and got me, basic necessities. Yes. And of course, I was the only Jamaican female that lived on campus. There was maybe one or two that lived in the city, but um, to my surprise, there were quite a few guys on the soccer team from Jamaica. So I became the little sister, and they took took care of me.
Wow, what an experience.
Yes, ma'am.
What an experience. You, Jackie, and Grace Jackson all attended the same university, Alabama A&M.
Jackie, as in Jackie
Mm-hmm.
Angus. Jackie Angus
Yeah.
went to Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
How did having how was it for you having other Jamaicans on your team in a foreign country? How did that help to relax you, to just to relax you in such a way that you were able to study, train, and perform well?
Well, once I got there, I realized from just being around the girls, my teammates, my new teammates, that something was missing. So I spoke to my coach. He called Miss Charlton, um, who got in contact with um, Grace and Cheryl, Grace and Cheryl Henry. So Grace Jackson, Cheryl Henry, they're from Queens, and it's interesting how you were rivals and now you're teammates. So they
Mm-hmm.
so they came up in January, and the first track meet we had was hosted by Auburn University, and we all three of us set records that day, and it didn't sit very well with the people at Auburn. I didn't find out until 2012, and this is from 1978, or no, 79 actually, because I went up 79, 78, and Grace and Cheryl came up January 79. And that's when I was told by my coach at his induction, Hall of Fame induction, that Auburn didn't invite us back because of the three Jamaicans.
Are you serious?
Yeah, for the indoor, yes. Yes, we went up against some not so nice things, but it didn't deter us. It just motivated us. As Coco Goff said, they just fueled our fire.
Indeed, as you say that, in 1982, during the D2 championship, um, it was said that Alabama could not, wasn't eligible for the All American Championship because 8 out of 9 people, or most of the team, was Jamaican. Tell me a little bit about that. Am I accurate?
Yes, yes. Actually, we were in Sacramento. It was like 100 degrees in the daytime and then 50 at night. So, us Jamaicans, we just don't do well with cold. And
Mm-hmm.
so we took the blankets from the first night, we all huddled up together. The next day, we took the blankets from the hotel and took it to the track, and kept ourselves as warm as we could prior to racing. I remember the second day of competition, um, there was an announcement about all head coaches to meet on the infield, blah blah blah. So coach came back, and he's like, our coach is like 6'6", 6'7", and he talks between his teeth and he uses his hands a lot. And he started to tell us about how um, they're trying to vote against us getting any All American awards because we're not Americans, and because we're not Americans, we shouldn't be eligible. They disqualified Frederica Wright in the 400 when they should not have. So now we were being extra cautious with everything we did because you know the target was on our backs because you know
But it was university. It wasn't about country.
Correct. 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 But that, you see, back then you didn't have as many Jamaicans running for a university. You might find one or two, but to have one university have that many that qualified for the nationals was huge. Because when we came up, when I came up, 79 January, Grayson Shara came up. 79 August, you had Jackie Angus, Sharon Moffat, Audrey Hunter. So now there's three more. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Frederica Wright came up, or it might have been after, because there was Frederica Wright and Serene Mitchell. So there was, a nice group of us that came up, coming from different schools, different backgrounds, and we came together and you know, we put the work in.
Wow. As usual, the Jamaicans take no prisoners on at the collegiate level, and they continue. The
Precisely.
Jamaican athletes continue to do great things at the US collegiate level. 1980, you made the Olympic team. Making the Olympic team is a big deal for a lot of athletes, not just Jamaicans, but athletes around the world. And you weren't able to take up that, you weren't able to compete because you got injured. Tell me a little bit about that. I touch your emotions a little bit, but just tell us a little bit about 1980 Olympics when you could not compete.
Um, when you come up, and you're at a college level, it's all about winning. Um, and nothing against my coach, because we still communicate. We're very close. I've learned a lot from him, I mean, I've taken it into my coaching, which is part of what I do right now as well. And when I got it was a cable or telegram, whatever they call it, that I got. I started training 2 times a day. I would train by myself at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then with the team in the evening. And April 19th, um, I was at Tuskegee, Alabama, and I came off the hurdles because I ran the hurdles. I came off the hurdles, and my ankle went in the opposite direction. I knew it was serious, but I didn't know how serious it was. And then my coach came down, because everything stopped because I was screaming, and he said to me, "Come on, Doreen. Come on, Doreen. It ain't that bad. It ain't that bad." And the moment he said that, all I could do was scream for my mother. That night on the way back to Huntsville, well, when I woke up the next morning, my toes were swollen so bad, and that's when I knew, because if it was just a regular sprain, it would be swollen immediately, but it didn't. It took overnight, and that's when I knew the next morning that it was serious. That Monday, I was taken to the hospital for X-rays, and because I was in excruciating pain, I was put to sleep to do the X-rays. And when I woke up with a cast from my knee to my toes, and that's all she wrote. Yeah,
Wow. So your Olympic dream was shattered.
precisely. That's life.
Yeah, yeah, but my question is, I follow a lot of athletes, and I notice now that a lot of top athletes, quite a few top athletes, will not be competing at the Olympic Games in Paris because of injuries that result in surgery. You have been there and you've been through these emotions. How would you console these athletes right now? What would you say to them?
Pay forward. Pay forward. Um, Not that you're going to live vicariously through another athlete, but the knowledge and the experience that you have acquired, attained, whatever the word you want to think of, is to pour it into someone else, um, and just to help them to process and to go through it. The thing with my injury, I wasn't alone. I had people there, so I had support. I had support, and I thank God for my mother. God rest her soul. She's a praying woman, and so she her thing was that, Miss D, God did everything for a reason, and He knows best. And ever since that injury, over the years, I have had the opportunity to coach dozens and dozens of athletes, um, and just to share my story with them and to help to use it as a motivating factor for them. Because even though I didn't get a chance to compete at the Olympics the following year, I still made All American. Even after the injury, I couldn't do indoor, but I was able to run outdoor. I still, so it's like they say, taking the cliche, but lemon turns into lemonade. You know,
Indeed.
yes.
Indeed,
Oh,
indeed, indeed. I love this part. I love to talk. I love to tell athletes about their achievements, their awards, because many times athletes do not pay attention to their achievement. And let me tell you, I went searching, and you made the Olympic team 1980. You graduated from Alabama A&M University with a bachelor's degree in physical education. You graduated from Grambling State University with a master's degree in sport administration. You were inducted in the Hall of Fame for Alabama A&M 2009. You are a USA track and field official. You won at the Carifta Games under 17, under 20. You're a Camperdown and St. Mary alumnus. You won Girls Champs twice back to back. You competed at the CAC Games. You are an educator. You're an athletic director, a coach, a mentor. What a legacy. My mouth is tired. What a legacy. Track and field continue to be the vehicle or the transportation to greatness. How much of your academic success would you say track and field has contributed to?
100%,
Wow.
100%. Because what happened after getting hurt, my academics became my what's the word? I don't know if I found solace in academics, because guess what? Now I have to switch gears,
Switch gear. Hmm.
and that's why you try to. And my mother, and I'm sorry to keep bringing her up,
No,
because
that's fine. That's fine. It's your
um
story. That's fine.
she's always um told us that God allows each of us to go through certain situation and circumstances so that you can share or help somebody else, because not everyone is as strong as you are to go through,
What
without.
you've gone to. Indeed.
Precisely,
Indeed.
yes, yes, yes. So um you know all those things was just a character builder. I think it made me stronger, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually, um because being hurt, not going to the Olympics, is not a death sentence. Life doesn't stop. Guess what? It just begun, because now you have to redirect um your thoughts and what you know what your life goal is, so it's just one of those things. You look back and, hey, thank God.
J- Just looking back at the 1980 Olympic Games a little bit, do you have any recollection of anybody who was on that team? You
I
don't know?
didn't watch it.
You didn't watch the 1980 Olympic Games
No,
in
ma'am.
Russia?
No, ma'am.
No?
No, ma'am.
And I can
I
understand.
I I was in cast for 6 weeks. I was on crutches for 6 weeks, and then I was in a walking cast for another 3 weeks. I had no desire. It took a couple years for me to watch track on TV. Yeah, yeah.
Wow. So how did you get past that emotionally? What is it that you had to do in order to get yourself back into a place where you said, okay, it was not my will?
1981, when we went back to school, or 1980 in the fall, when I went back to school, there were some coaches there that made comments, called me a has been, a washed up, a lemon. And when people throw lemon at you,
You made
you just
lemonade?
all you gotta do is flavor it up. But it's with that strawberry lemonade, pineapple lemonade, you know what I'm saying? And keep it moving. And that's what I did. That's what I
And this
did.
is and
And
this is what
I had some teammates, I'm telling you, I had some teammates that we might argue with each other amongst ourselves, but we were unified, you know. We looked out for each other, and we found strength, especially when it was time to compete. When it was time to compete, there was no force stronger, because our 4x1 was four Jamaicans. It was Grace, Muffet, Cheryl Henry, and myself. Camperdown.
are we talking about Grace Jackson?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yep.
4 Jamaicans make
Hey,
up a collegiate 4x1 team.
St.
Oh
Mary
my.
High School, Camperdown, and two queens. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Wow.
So
Wow. Wow.
at that time, you didn't think, there was no discussion as to what high school you came from, because right
Exactly.
now we're all bulldogs
Mm-hmm.
trying to get the job done, and we did. We did.
Exactly. Exactly. It is amazing how you guys compete against each other at the high school level at champs. But when you get on a team together, it's like you guys have always been
Oh
teammates.
yes, there was never any talk about Camperdown this or St. Mary High School that, or or Queens. It was none of that. It was just, and if we got beat by a team one week, the following week, we're gonna go after them. I won't forget 1982, we were in Sacramento. I had hurt my hamstring, and coach said to me, Doreen, I'm gonna take you off the relay team. No, I'm a senior. I'm a senior. Grace is a senior. Cheryl Henry's a senior. And he said he was going to remove me off the team. I said no. So we got together as a unit, and it was Cheryl Henry, if my memory serves me right, was first leg. Grace was the back stretch because Grace's legs were so tall. Muffet was on the third leg, and I was on the ankle leg. And when you run ankle leg, that's the pressure leg. And the last thing I wanted to do was to let the team down. So secretly, without coach's knowledge, we switched the relay. We went and we practiced the handoffs, because we have been running together for so long. We knew each other's ways and stuff, and we switched. Grace and I switched legs, and we ran the fastest time ever in that order,
Wow.
even with
So
even with a bad hamstring.
you ran the back and
Yes,
Grace did
yes,
the ankle leg.
yes. We shortened it. We shortened it. So I ran the shortest. Of course, I was the shortest of the bunch, and I was the quickest of the bunch for shorter distance.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So we shortened it, and we ran the fastest. I just took some pain pill. And I said, Coach, if my hamstring bust, let it bust with me finishing up my senior year.
Right,
And
because Grace strength is the 200 and the
correct,
400.
correct,
Yeah.
correct,
Because
correct.
I remember she came from behind at the Olympic Games. I think she was about fifth, and she came from behind and won silver
Yeah.
at I think it was the 1988 Olympic Games. 84 or 88, she won silver in the 200 coming from behind. So we know what Grace can do, with those long legs. But after being injured and not being able to compete at the Olympics, I know that as you said, your heart was broken for a long time.
Hmm.
After you left the sport, where did you go after that? I know that you went into the books, but in terms of being a part of the sport, a little
I
birdie.
I
Okay, go
met
ahead.
I met the coach from Grambling State at a track meet, and he asked me, would I be interested in being a grad assistant? I know I've always wanted to do my master's, but I didn't know how I was going to pay for it. As a foreign student, and lo and behold, he said, "Well, you can be a grad assistant. They'll pay for school. You'll get a stipend every month, and the best part about it is I didn't have to write a thesis. I just
Must be happy.
I just did a practical, which was I was an assistant track coach to a grad assistant with the track team, traveled with them everywhere, and I worked in the athletic office for 2 hours a day, and I did classes at night, and I was done with college in a year and a half, my master's.
Hold that thought before we go any further. I was just trying to remember what year Grace Jackson won the silver medal in the 200 meters at the Olympics. And of course, my audience, who they are very knowledgeable, both Vivian Morano, formerly Vivian Spence, formerly of Veer, she and Etlin Tate, they're saying it was actually 1988. And Vivian Morana was also on that 1988 team along with Etlin Tate. So they're saying it's 1988. Thank you very much, ladies, for that. You are Doreen. Again, guys, I'm here with the outstanding Doreen Small, formerly of Camperdown High School and St. Mary High School. Of course, she won Girls Champs with St. Mary in 1976 and 1977. Miss Doreen, you are heavily involved with USA track and field as an official. I know. I'm sorry. Guys, yes, she is very, very busy. And of course, she is a part of USA track and field. And I know why she's laughing, but you're heavily involved with USA track and field as an official and a whole heap of things. Tell me about that experience. How did that happen?
Um, After going back to Jamaica, after doing my master's, I went back to Jamaica because, again, I'm not going to call any names. I was told that there was a position for me with sports development or whatever they call it, SD, whatever. And when I went for the interview, I was told, you look nothing like your mother. Now, my Motown Crossway, but because of place and time, my mother said sometimes something's better kept than said.
That's
I,
true.
so I said to him, "What do you mean by that?" And then he alluded to the fact that my resume looked good on paper, and that he had a meeting. He said to me, and I said, "Well, I didn't agree to the appointment. I mean, this is the time I was scheduled to have an interview with you, sir." And then he said something, and I said, "Okay, sorry to have wasted your time," and I left. I came back to the States maybe a couple of days later. Um, and then I moved to Miami, which is where I live. A friend of mine, in getting connected with track and field, because now I'm back. I made a connection with a lady who knew of me when I was running for the brief time I ran for Jamaica. and she had a track club. I'm just giving the short version.
Mm-hmm.
She had a track club, and I was the first head female track coach in Florida. This is from back in the my son is 80, back in the 80s. And we went up against Miami Dade or Metro Dade track club. The leader for Metro Dade track club, it was at the time Robin Brown Beeman. Her ex-husband is Bob Beeman. He was the long jump long jump of record holder for the US. And she encouraged me back then from the 80s to get certified as a track official. I brushed it off, but then I eventually gave in. And the reason why I gave in, because I was coaching a track club. So being an official and a coach, you get privileges. And I never met anyone that's a stranger. You understand that statement?
It's always a stranger, sweetheart.
I've never met a stranger, because it's as if I meet you, it's as if I've known you for some time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So while I'm officiating, so if I had issues with my athletes, whether they missed their events or whatever, because I'm officiating, they got grace. I transitioned from the club to high school. I had a couple calls for college, but like my kids would say, "Mommy, where are you needed the best? Where are you going to be best serving these kids?" So I decided to stay in high school. And of course, over the years, you started do high school. I stopped doing high school. I just did youth. And then I went on to college. And from college, um, different people see you officiate.
Mm-hmm.
So I went up the ladder. So now I'm a master's level track and field official. I am the women's chair for USA Track and Field Florida. And I have had I am excited of the opportunity. I worked the last two outdoor nationals, and this year I was selected to go back for the Olympic trials, to work the Olympic trials. Thank you.
My heart is broken. My heart is broken because
Why?
we don't know what we have. We don't know what we have. And you know, we just don't know what we have, and it's very sad that we don't know what we have. But congratulations on all of that and your achievements. And you have gone through the collegiate system. How important was this system towards your development and personally, your development in track and field and you as a person overall? How important is going to through a collegiate system if you're an athlete?
Um, One of the things that I've always emphasized is um, it takes you to another level, mat, in terms of your mental, um, because you have a lot of kids that they're stars in high school,
Mm-hmm.
but when they get to the college level, they're not ready for it mentally and emotionally, and they fold. Just like how you have athletes who go from high school to the pros, and they're you know out there, and that's why a lot of times we have kids who I think should at least make sure that they go to the college level so that they can help them their minds to grow. It helps them being away from home, helps them become independent, um, and just to learn to be self-sufficient, um, and to help build their characters. Now, when you don't go to college, it's very few that do not go to college and go to the pro and are successful. Uh,
True.
they might start out looking good, but it that they're on a decline.
You are correct, because
And
if you look at the data,
correct.
the data, it doesn't lie. And if you
No,
look at the data, most of our successful track and field athletes have all gone through a collegiate system.
correct, correct, correct. And the thing about it is that once your track career is over, what do you have to fall back on? Because there's one thing that, yes, I got hurt, but guess what? What I had up here didn't get hurt. So it's allowing me to make a living and to pay forward in the sport that gave me the education.
And we would love for you to pay it forward in Jamaica, but don't worry about don't don't worry about that comment. You're
I think I'm where God wants me to be.
yeah, indeed, 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 indeed. Not that you did not try, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, indeed. It break my heart though, but it's fine.
Why?
You're a USA track and field official. You've done it at the high school level, the collegiate level. You're now at the senior level. You are very busy. What does your role entails? What is it that you really do?
Um, I'm an umpire. That's like my. I went to my principal, whose kids runs track, took me to a track meet last year in Atlanta. I just traveled with them just for the heck of it, and um, he said to me, I was pointing out some things to him, in different races, and he's like, "Coach, do you watch the race or you watch the race for infractions?" I said, "The second one, because that's what I do. It's not it's like it's second nature. Um, I can see a kid's form and say, he would do better if he did XYZ, or I can see where, ooh, if I was on that track, they'll be getting that yellow flag, So it's uh, I love umpiring, you know. Um, Not that I like disqualifying people, but I just
I'm glad you say that. What kind of emotions go through you when you have to disqualify someone as an
yeah,
official?
you have to take your emotions out of it. You have to take your emotions out of it, and it's even harder when it's someone
Yeah.
or school that
Or if the person is a favorite.
yes. I had a situation. This was a youth track meet, and did not. I was working the region meet, so this is South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. I was working it in Rome, Georgia, and I will not forget that night, 11 o'clock. I was tired because youth meets are long, and I got a phone call saying, "Hey, Doreen, this coach so and so, I heard you disqualified my athlete." I did not realize the kid I threw the flag on was the number one 800 runner in Georgia. So me throwing the flag deterred him from going to the Junior Olympics. I did not deter him from going to the Junior Olympics. His actions on the track
Yeah.
deterred him. And if I see it, I'm going to call it.
And you have to take your bias out
Oh,
of it.
absolutely. 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 So, I mean, and to get selected third year in a row as a Black or African American Jamaican is huge. In a lot of instances, I am the only female on the crew.
Wow.
Um, Now there's two of us, two African American females. This past year we had three, but in general, usually I'm the only female. When I worked NC2A, I was the only female.
And you are a Jamaican.
Yes. Now I got to share this little story with you that I didn't tell you before. Um, I was attending the USATF annual meeting, and we were in the youth meeting, and tempers were flaring, and a comment was made. I want to know, how come a little country like Jamaica, this was a few years ago, when I think there was some discus throw that was really doing well. They were not happy at all. And I'm laughing inside, you know, because I'm like, mm-hmm.
Little Jamaica.
That's what was said. Yes. they was just saying a little, I mean, we have the resources. They don't. But look at their numbers and look at this and look at that. We need to get on board. We need to do this. It was just interesting, when you're in there just to hear what's going on. And I'm saying to myself, Jamaica even ain't not even thinking about them.
For real.
Yeah.
Indeed, indeed. And we're
Yeah.
going to talk about that a little bit. But you will be officiating at the Olympic trials, USA Olympic trials, or nationals, if we want to call it that. How excited are you? What are you looking forward to on that weekend when the team will be selected for Paris and Jamaica's team will be selected that same weekend? Or I should say, our trials will be running at the same time.
Well, I have a sister who if I didn't know better, I would think she run track. Novlin Anne Marie Small. That's my information director. Because while I'm at the track meet, she'll text me the results because I'm not supposed to look at my phone. So I have an excuse to go to the bathroom to check results. Because
To
I'm
see
always,
to see what's happening in
yes,
Jamaica.
yes, 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 yes.
Indeed,
And to see
indeed.
who's going up against who.
Mm-hmm,
I remember
mm-hmm.
talking to Gabby after trials got done last year, and she was saying to me, because she's from a Jamaican background,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and she was saying how excited she was when she saw Sharika's time, but that fueled her to go and put the time down that she did, but it didn't do any good at the next level.
Right,
Uh,
right. At the championship, yeah, yeah.
correct.
She and Gabby Thomas, she seemed to respect. She respect the
She is.
Jamaicans.
She's a class act. When I
Yes,
tell you, she's a class act, she is a class act, and as humble as they come, as
yes.
humble as they come. Yes.
I see that. I see that. Let us segue a little bit now to Jamaica. When you look at the Jamaica track and field legacy and what we're doing overall, what is your overall thought of this little country that has become? Jamaica is one of the smallest countries by population that is doing well in track and field. What are your thoughts? Are you surprised? Did you see this coming?
I'm not surprised because as someone would put it, running track in Jamaica is a way of life. It's a way of life. And when I officiate the college track meets and I see so many Jamaicans um on the team, and there's so many more that should be, in college, you know, using their talents and getting an education out of it. That's the part that, when you have coaches that encourage kids not to come,
Mm-hmm,
not to go
mm-hmm.
to college. Um, I think it's a selfish. They're being selfish because they're thinking about lining their pockets versus these young athletes' future. And
Indeed.
and shame on them. Shame on them. And if I step on anybody's toes,
I feel you. I
yeah,
feel you.
because we cannot teach our kids to live for now. You know, because what are they going to be worth 10 years from now when they can no longer put those spikes on? Who will hire them? There's a former Olympian who, while the money was good, everybody was around, and then after the money's gone, where are they? And I see too many times, especially being in this country, wherein when you're up top, everything is good when you're making the money. And that's why it is important for these young people to go to college, get your degrees, get an education so you can be self-sufficient after the sport when those sponsor money stop coming in. Because
True.
they're gonna stop. They're gonna stop. They're not gonna come for a lifetime. And there's some things that was going on when I was running the brief time I was running for Jamaica. It's a shame that it's now 40 years later. It's different players, same game.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. The script remains the same.
Correct.
The players have changed.
Yes.
How much of Jamaica's success would you credit to boys and girls champs?
100%. When you hear coaches, when I do college meets, and you hear these coaches say to me, I'll take a third tier Jamaican athlete. And it's not done in a disrespectful way.
I get you. I
I
get you.
think when the Jamaicans, for the most part, when they do come here, they love life, they embrace the opportunity, and they make the most of it. Now there are some that do, and there's a small amount that you know come with an entitled spirit, and those usually fall along the wayside. um but for the most part, when I go to track meets, I'm traveling with Jamaican patties, bun, cheese, whatever. You'll meet some kids and I'll ship things to them, because where they are, they might not get
Mhm.
this kind of stuff. But them being part of that team, it's very enriching for me just to see the energy and how the other teammates love and support the Jamaicans on their team. You
Oh
know, it,
yes. Oh yes.
it, it
And they love the food.
oh, that's a Leroy Burrell took. I bought some patties to FSU relays last year, and I told Leroy I bought some patties, but I also had patties for um Nate Nat Page from Georgia Tech, and Leroy came and scooped it up, and I told Nat, hey, but and the coaches from Clemson, when they talk about Callaloo and Corey Goat, yes, and these are not blacks; these are you know the white
Yes,
guys.
the
You know,
Jamaican food, the
yes,
Jamaican food. I hear it every day. I started a new job recently and I try not to talk too much because I never wanted to be discovered that I'm a Jamaican. Not that I'm not a proud Jamaican, but in a meeting I said something and somebody said, "Excuse me, you have an accent. Are you from Jamaica?" And I said, "Yes."
always
And the meeting changed to food.
food.
They wanted to
Exactly.
know, they wanted to know if I could cook oxtail, if I can
Yes.
cook curry goat, curry
Yes.
chicken. And I'm
Yes.
like, and the meeting was all about food and when am I going to cook oxtail and invite them over? And I'm like, and
Yes.
as you said, these people are not blacks,
No. No. No.
but they
They
love.
the right. They embrace it, and
Mhm.
just as they embrace the food, they embrace the athletes.
True, true.
Um, Last month we're in May.
Mm-hmm. May
I think
May 2nd.
it might have been late March. LSU was I was officiating a meet at University of Miami, and I was looking forward to seeing Brianna, because I met her last year and I had a whole bag of Nesberries for her.
Which of the Brianna? We have two.
Brianna L,
Brianna
LSU,
Liston. Okay.
LSU, LSU,
LSU. Okay, mommy.
and so um, I introduced myself and I gave her the bag of Nesberries, and there were a couple in the bags that were bruised. So I told her to throw it away. She's like, Miss, no, Miss, you're crazy. No, I'm going to eat it. So this year, a friend of mine,
Humble.
yeah, a friend of mine who Pottinger, he does high jump for Jamaica. We were all excited about seeing Brianna, and then I saw the coach, and he said she's not coming because she had a fever. And I just got into a casual conversation with him, and he said to me, "Ma'am, um, I'm not rushing Brianna. I'm making sure I'm being intentional, and I'm making sure that she's okay. She had a fever, so we allowed her to stay in the hotel room. So immediately I called Pottinger's mother, Sharon, and she's a doctor. So she took soup and Gatorade or Pedialyte to her, and checked on her and made sure you know she was okay. And um, the fever ended up breaking and everything, but just to hear a coach say that, because a lot of times these college coaches, they want to win, and they want to win at all cost.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's was what happened to me, my the first couple of years, because not having a caliber athlete, or what they thought was a caliber athlete. I didn't think I was all that. I just love to run, and I was like a workhorse, you
Wow.
know, literally a workhorse, going doing the 100, the 200, 4x1. If it's a relay meet, I would have to do sometimes the hurdles, long jump. I would do anywhere between 46
So weren't
seconds,
you
130.
burnt out? Weren't you?
Yes, 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 yes. Subsequently, I caused the injury in 1980, because there's no reason why I should have been running the hurdles. None, none.
And you're
But
not chasing championship.
no, it was just a regular track meet. It wasn't a championship track meet. It was just a regular track meet. Yeah. So you live and
Wow.
learn.
Amazing. Yes. When you look back at Jamaica and our young athletes who are speedily emerging, and I say speedily because they're just in the wings waiting, how can we as a country support and preserve these young athletes and ensure that they transition in such a way that they'll be able to pay their bills? When you look at the Clayton twins, the Brianna Liston, Brianna Williams, Karika Hill, Alana Reed, Serena Cole, Alea Baker, and I can call a lot more names. How can we preserve those young ladies?
One of the things that I think that should be taken into consideration first and foremost is the step from the high school to the college, making sure that the college that they're going to is not a college that is desperate to win now. If they're going to a college, Brianna is in a good spot. LSU has already have people in front of Brianna. So as a result, they were able to hold her back, and not just to mature her athletically, but mentally, emotionally, and academically, because people don't understand that all those things go together. Um, when you put a young athlete in front of a mic, you want to know that they're able to express themselves. Um, and there's sometimes not necessarily any of the names that you call, but in general, there's some athletes that you, they might get the mic one time and they don't get it again because it's embarrassing, because they're not able to express themselves. You know, but I think it is vital. It is important for that education, and if you can get the education, I mean, people might say it's free. It's not free, because I told my coach, my education is not free, because I'm giving you a service,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and my service is to get your name on the map, and I did that along with the help of Grace Jackson, Cheryl Henry, Sharon Moffat, Audrey Hunter, and the list goes on. You know, um, but I look back, and I had a blast. We had a blast in college. You know, we talk about it. Um, just recently, Sharon and I just reminiscing, and she'll find pictures of college and Speedy. You remember this, but it is important, because you can't put a price tag on that in no shape, form, or fashion. Because now, um, see, I got hurt, and back then those surgeries, you don't recover from them as you do, with,
No.
with the
Mhm.
modern technology. Um, I I was able to finish my undergrad and was able to do my graduate, and you know
Here we are today.
and here we are today.
How important is it to prepare athletes mentally equally as much as you prepare them physically for competition?
But the way how the way where things are these days, I think it's 50-50, because if they're not mentally prepared, when they if you have an athlete who is used to always winning, now they're at the next level, and the winning is not coming as easy, because everybody is on your level or above your level. So now you have to work harder not just physical, but mentally and emotionally. And if you have not been prepared, then that's where you have mental breakdowns. You see it all the time with athletes talking about their emotional state.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
A lot of them climb the ladder so fast
Oh, yes,
that
yes.
it they go up, and then before you know it, it's a big drop, and then they're about to, you know the cranium is all over the place, you know so
We push them too
yes,
early.
precisely.
Yeah,
The expectations are too high too soon,
yeah.
instead of it being gradual, because if it's gradual, then they'll go to the process and they'll learn, and they'll go to the bumps and bruises and they'll learn, instead of everything seems to be peaches and cream, and then sudden destruction, you know and then they don't know how to handle it.
Gail Divas said it perfectly in an interview. She said, at this stage of the game, we're pushing out so many, we're creating stars in these young people and pushing them out in the world, and they don't know what to do with it.
Precisely. And then the worst part about it is, um and I heard this from an NFL, because I'm a sports fanatic. My middle son plays ice hockey. He's now coaching. Um, and I look at him, he's extremely athletic, and his dream was to make it to the NHL. But like his mom, he had multiple concussions and back injuries, because he's a goalie. So for a moment there, he was in depression. He's okay, because now he's up coaching and is paying forward. you know um we need to make sure that these kids are we don't give them false hope, and a lot of them have false hope that they're going to be Olympians, they're going to be a Sharika Jackson or a Shelly Ann. Those two young ladies, or Elaine, or Lilith Hodges, or Jackie Pusey, it didn't just happen overnight. It was a process. But these kids nowadays, everything is basically a microwave. So they leave college, they leave high school, they sign pros, and they start getting that money, and then they start spending and getting all these fancy stuff, and there's nobody um, teaching them how to manage their money, how to do put away something, save your savings, or invest, or whatever it may be. They just go and they start buying,
Life
spending.
after sport, no preparation for life after
Precisely.
sport.
Precisely. Precisely. And then the
When,
same people, I'm sorry, the same people who help them spend it when they need them, they're MIA.
yep, yep, yep. When did you know when it was time to retire as an athlete?
When I graduated college, because
Yeah.
I was still having pain. Yes,
Okay.
that ankle was still, I was still having. I competed the last 2 years of college, and I thank God. I look back, I don't know how I did it. I finished school in 4 years, which is kind of unusual, because a lot of times they redshirt you. I didn't have that luxury, because when I got to college, I hit the ground running. Um, I still tried to run afterwards, but I was never the same after the injury. So, and I'm not going to um, continue to put myself through the agony, because it wasn't going anywhere. So I just poured it in another way, and it was, track.
Indeed. Indeed. I am going to get into some Q&A, some random questions, but before I go any further, is there anything about your career or the challenges that you've been through that I did not touch on that you want to share with us and to present athletes?
Um, this coming, no, May 11th will be my 64th birthday, and I was working in a school that was predominantly ran by men. And as a female, you have to be two times better. work twice as hard to accomplish, being an athletic director, so to speak. And for years, you know, it it got me to a place where I kind of gave up on becoming an athletic director. That was my dream. So after being a head coach, track meet director, officiating, you know, we got a new principal, and God put people in places sometimes, and that was a man that he put in place, and he said, "I realize what has been going on. I guess I don't know who told him." He said, "But I'm going to assign you as an associate athletic director," and the rest is history. I got released from the school because I wasn't on the same page with the board. Because as a strong
Too
Jamaican,
too headstrong, Doreen. Doreen, you're too headstrong.
precisely, I speak my piece, and my mother has always taught us to keep it real. If if anybody on the call knows my siblings, we keep it real. And um, I was released. A school hired me without me doing an application because he wanted me. I'm giving the short version. 6 months later, the same school that released me, they have been asking me to come back ever since. And it's now 6 years later.
Why is it that people cannot recognize when they have something good in their life? I don't know.
They're lost, but you see, I didn't see them as firing me. I see them as releasing me
Oh,
because God
yes.
put me in a different space wherein not only do I get to do what I love, but I am respected. And when working in a school, a big Christian school in South Florida, that's predominantly white male, when I speak, everybody listens. The guy that he and I kind of run the track program right now, and he doesn't make any decisions. And this is gonna sound crazy. We call each other our track wife. I'm his track wife and track husband. At 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, are you up? Can we talk? Just talking track. I'm sharing that just to say how much he respects my opinion and my knowledge, and that's a good feeling.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
It is about the work. Sometimes people refuse to see that it is about the job that you're doing. They're so busy looking at other things, they're not seeing the work that you're doing. But with that said, before we get into the Q&A that I love very much, I
uh-oh.
just want to say hi to the people on the live, all the athletes who are there, retired athletes. Regina Montague said, "Yes, Doreen, I know your siblings." Now, I don't have to tell you who Regina Montague is. Regina
Of course I know
Montague.
Regina. She come from, yes,
Regina is another star from the East,
yes,
Portland, one
I
of your
know.
main rival at the Titchfield. She is a
Yes.
Titchfield girl. And of course, Miss Montague, who I had the pleasure of interviewing some time ago, she was also an outstanding coach at Dintil Technical High School that threatened Veer Technical's dominance. So another outstanding athlete, and she also a winner at the Carifta Games. She won at the Carifta Games 1972. No, Lilith won 1972. Regina won 1974. And this is under 20 now. 1976, Dorothy Scott, who is also there, an Olympian, won. And you won.
Mule train.
What's her name?
Mule train.
Oh my word. I did not know. Where is Dorothy? Dorothy, you need to come back. I am hearing your nickname. So all these Olympians. I
Is
mean,
Maureen Gottschalk on the call too?
no, I'm not seeing Maureen. I'm seeing Heather Pusey. Heather Pusey is
Oh,
there.
that's my big sister.
Regina is there. Heather is the sister of Jackie
I know that's my
Pusey.
big sister.
Oh, your big sister, yes. Another
Yeah.
one from St. Mary. St. Mary is very big in the house tonight. Of course, as I said before, my new parish
Big
has
up, big up, big
become
up.
St. Mary. So, guys, we're here having a very good discussion with Doreen Small, outstanding track and field athlete for Camperdown, St. Mary High School, and Jamaica. And of course, she is telling us a little bit about her journey. Outstanding. So now we are going to get into the Q&A quickly. When you look back at your career, what would you have done differently, or would you have done anything differently, Doreen?
Ah, no.
Before you answer, Heather Pusey is saying we called her the turning point. What does that mean? The turning point.
At the Carifta Games, the medal I won in the 100 was the turning point for us winning the championship, Carifta Games.
After a drought, after a long drought, right?
In the medal standing.
Okay.
In the medal standing.
Okay.
But
Okay.
ask her what was my nickname at St. Mary High School.
Heather, what was Doreen's nickname at while she was at St. Mary? Because guess what? Every Jamaican have a nickname. Every Jamaican have a nickname. Heather, please furnish me with.
I had 3 different nicknames at St. Mary High School.
Oh, you want both, sister?
I was
While
special.
Heather is trying to pick her memory
Oh,
to
did you
find
talk
us.
about my high school netball? I played for Jamaica Schoolgirls Squad. Ha ha.
You played netball also?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Tell
ma'am.
me a little bit about the netball. I don't understand. Track, netball, track. How did you
When
get
you're
from
on,
track to netball?
you see, that's what people don't understand. You have cricketers, you have football player, you have netball players, you have track athletes, and then you have athletes. I am an athlete. If I chose to have played soccer, I think I would have been decent at it. Um, I started playing netball as well, and I went to, just like how I made it the Carifta Games team. I went to watch netball because I love netball. So I went into Kingston one Saturday, and I always pack a bag of extra clothes. It's just a habit of mine. And when I got there, I don't remember who it was. I don't know if it was Rose Anderson, because Rose Anderson was Camperdown, my sister, and she said, "Why you never try out for the team to go to Canada?" They were going to Canada, and I jumped in. I tried out, and surprisingly, I made the team to go to Canada for netball. But when I got back, because of the court, the surface, the netball surface, I was advised strongly to quit netball.
To quit netball.
Yes, but I played for St. Mary High School until I graduated, though. Yes.
Wow. When you talk about a versatile athlete, are you that?
I don't know what all of that.
Every sprint event and netball. Yeah, netball is a lovely sport.
But you're
Lily,
sprinting in netball. The position.
yes.
So
Lilith Hodges, another Olympian, another star from St. Mary High School, has just joined us. And Lilith is saying she never had a nickname, but Dorothy Scott is back, and Dorothy is saying she said Lilith's nickname was Hollywood. I can just imagine why Lilith's nickname was Hollywood. So Lilith's nickname was Hollywood. So of course we have Dorothy Scott Genius. I don't know how many of these names you know, Miss Doreen, but we have a lot of outstanding Jamaican athletes on here.
well, my one of the nicknames, the netball coach, she would call me Twepsy Foot.
Twepsy Foot.
No, she didn't come. She used to call me Big Ethel, and that was because I my mom grew up Baptist. We didn't wear pants, so my uniform was below my knees. And then Heather, I'm sure you're nodding your head. and then I had long socks. My socks was up to my knee.
So
So
hold on there now. Let me picture this. You're in a long skirt
yes,
and knee-high
yes,
socks. You did a
yes.
what them call it them time maxi?
And so, and then there was another guy named Gillette. He used to call me Dogfoot because I have bow legs, and because of the clothes how I dressed with the long dress, whatever, you know.
I love this story. These are the stories that I love. Dorothy Scott, formerly of Veer Technical, outstanding for Veer Technical. She's saying HP, a lot of us track athletes also played netball, but we choose between track and netball. Outstanding, outstanding, outstanding. You, Doreen, competed for Camperdown and St. Mary High. Life in the corporate area at Camperdown, life in the east at St. Mary High School. Um, which was your favorite? I have a feeling what you're going to say, but me still ask the question.
A
Where
country.
country? You love the country life.
Yes, man. What do you mean? You got to understand when you're in school with the likes of the Hillary Walker was one of my friends. She played netball. Um, and then you have Rockers and the Pusey twins, Judge Pusey and Jackie Pusey.
Hold on. As you said, the Pusey twins. Who are the Pusey twins? Is it
Jackie
Jack?
Jackie and Judy Pusey.
Oh, I did not even know that Jackie was a twin.
But
Wow.
they weren't identical. That's why you don't
Wow.
know. Because one is athletic and the other one just cute.
Opposite. Yeah,
Yeah.
opposite. Country.
And then you had Heather, who was the mother hen. She made
Oh,
sure, and she still does now. She still call and check on me. Make sure say, man, run by you, me I check on you, everything cool, you know.
yes. That's what life is about. That's
And
what
that's why I
we're
call her my
supposed.
big sister.
Yeah, that's what we're supposed to do. Indeed, indeed. Big sister Heather, she must be a Heather. She must be a Heather because that's how we
Oh,
are. We check on people, right, Heather? Next question to you, Doreen. Many are under the impression that you are from St. Mary. Which parish should claim you? Because I heard a lot of parishes earlier. Which parish should claim you, Doreen Small?
I live in my we lived in Windsor Castle, Portland, which is like close to the border of Portland and St. Mary. So, if anybody asks me where I'm from, unlike a lot of people who say they come from Kingston, I'm going to say Portland.
So you're from Portland, even though
Yes,
you were born in Westmoreland. If I'm a
correct.
Westmorelite, me go be upset. If I'm
It's
from
okay
Westmore,
because I spent most of my years in Portland, so that's why I'm claiming Portland. You
you're
know what
not
I'm
even claiming St. Mary, Portland. Well, that's
saying?
fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. So that means you're claiming Portland with Regina Montague. So she said it. Windsor
Yes,
Castle, Portland. No other
yes.
parish.
If
Wow.
big up, big up. Thank you, thank you.
Honorable sister.
My mother was working in Port Antonio, and at one point, and I had the option to switch schools to Port Antonio, but it was a negative
So
because
why you didn't go to Teachfield?
because when you are around the likes of Vidal Ventris or Ventris Vidal, whatever her name is, um, and the other PE teacher, oh my gosh, I can't think of her name. I can't see her face right now. And Jackie and Heather and Rockers. I mean, come on.
You don't want to leave. Yeah.
No, 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 no. And Hillary Walker. No, no. And I had my classmates, my track mates and my classmates. No.
I hope the Camperdown people are upset with you.
They'll
Were
be
there
okay.
were there any significant influence or a role model that inspired you along your track and field journey?
I honestly, I really can't think of one in particular. Um, Vilma Charlton, Vilma Charlton.
1964, 1968,
Um,
1972 Olympian, Miss Vilma
and
Charlton.
there's this guy. He passed away. Oh my gosh, Heather, help me. Clifton Forbes.
Okay.
Clifton Forbes. Yes. And my track coach, Lister Horton James. He was a man who never ran track in his life, but knew so much about it and did the best he could. And he made us who we were. 76, 77.
Winning girls champs back to
Correct.
back.
Correct. Correct.
Before you go any further, I love my audience. You know, they're feeding me with information. Heather Pusey saying, what a lot of people don't know is that Doreen Small is also our cousin. Why are you hiding that? See, I love my audience. I love my audience. They give me information. I love them.
You know,
So,
that was something, I don't know how long ago we found out through conversation that we were related, along with Small Waynesworth Small that ran for Kingston College.
I
Yeah.
love my audience, you know. I love my audience.
Why? What happened?
Listen this one now. Vivian Spence, who is a former Veer girl, she's a Veer girl from Westmoreland. Vivian is saying,
Poor thing.
we would love to have you in Westmoreland, but you can't go on a port. We would love to have you in Westmoreland, but you can't go on a Portland. I love this. I love this. I tell you, you would upset the Westmoreland people. I tell you.
Hey, you gotta accept things that you can't change.
Listen, man, I would be upset if I'm from Portland, but Vivian Spence is also another outstanding, very technical and Olympia 1988.
It's because she come from Vera and St. Mary bust them up. That's all.
But you know something, I want you to talk a little bit about that, what you did to Veer, because Veer is saying, the Veer people are saying that you guys won girls' champs, St. Mary High won girls' champs, 1976,
Here we
because
go again.
their entries were late. A Veer girl said, you won, St. Mary won because Veer wasn't there. Please to comment.
Well, it's not my fault why the entrance was late. And whether or not they were there, the results would have been the same, because the following year, what happened? They were there and the results was the same. What do you have to say for that?
Veer girls, you're upsetting the Veer girls on the
Okay.
live.
But there was still love in the camp,
Of
because we
course.
still competed together for the
Always, yeah.
beautiful island of Jamaica at Carifta Games
Indeed,
and the
indeed, indeed,
CAC Games. So,
indeed,
you know,
indeed,
it
indeed.
was all good.
And that is what I like about like your generation. You know, you guys were rivals at champs, but when you line up for countryman is a different ball game, and I love that. Dorothy Scott Genius is saying Clifton was my big brother. I love these comments. I'm just learning everything. Marjorie Paul is saying Ventris Vidal and Faith Williams.
Faith Williams, thank you. That was the name. She was my PE teacher. She Miss Viola was the netball coach, and Faith Williams was my PE teacher.
Wow.
Yes,
Beautiful,
yes.
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful. Heather is saying would not have made a difference because we came up against. Oh, Heather is saying it never make a difference because St. Mary High came up against Veer in 1977 and they couldn't defend it.
Precisely.
I like Veer, you know. I like Veer. I have a lot of Veer friends, so I have to be careful. But my next question to you is, who did you line up with during your career that made you nervous? When you see them in your race, you were like, oh my God, not this person again. Who made you?
Jacqueline Pusey.
Jackie was your biggest nightmare.
That was undercover. That was one person that I wanted to beat. One chance. I got out 60 meters, but I knew that I was only up there for a brief moment that she was coming.
Wow.
If it was a 60, I'd have beat her. But anything past that, it done. All Jackie. Yes.
Wow.
I respected her. Not fear, but respected her.
I like
And you
that.
know something? She was never she was always humble. And that's why I respected her. She was always humble.
Yep. So that was like a Quinella for St. Mary High School.
Yes. Because
Wow.
like I tell my athletes now, when I train them and we're doing block work, I said you're teammates, but when you get in those blocks, you're enemies. When the race finish, you're teammates again. Because I want them to be hungry.
Wow. Vivian, I mean the Veer St. Mary thing is going on. Heather is saying we still love Dorothy Scott and Maureen Gotcha and all the other Vertex girls that were there without them. Without them, we would not have been the same. The Veer girl is saying, don't you think that was a mental cop out?
Nah,
I love it. I love it. I love
nah.
it. I love it.
But
I
you
love
see,
it.
that should tell them that we were not just stronger athletically, we were stronger mentally because even though we knew they were there, it didn't phase us.
Wow. 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 I love it though. I love it. I love it. What was your favorite moment competing at Girls Champs?
The favorite moment was that relay I told you about earlier when Jackie was on the ankle leg. Um I think it was I think track baby ran the first leg. I don't remember who ran the second leg. And I was on the third leg and Jackie on the ankle leg. It might I don't know if Heather was on the second leg. I don't know. She might remember. I don't remember.
12 big points for St. Mary High.
That we that relay in particular was one of those that I mean the crowd Jackie, you know how in the races those four by when somebody is catching somebody say ooh
Mm.
ooh, it was one of those oops races that you know if Jackie got the baton within a certain range. I knew that if I give it to her at a certain distance, you know, that she was gonna catch the person ahead, and she did. That was one of those races that I'll never forget in high school.
Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing, amazing, amazing. What was your favorite moment competing at the collegiate level?
My favorite moment was after we were told, or they were trying to say we shouldn't receive the All American awards. Um, that was one of them. That we shouldn't was to change the order of the 4x1 relay, and
Because it was all Jamaican.
yes, we changed the order of the relay, and we still put a monkey wrench in the end results. Our little team with the 9 girls, we got second runner up, second overall. My awards are in my office. Um, but my most memorable was as a freshman, never running indoor, my first track meet to break a record that morning in at the Auburn Invitational, and then that evening in the finals to break a record that I had set that morning. And then Grace Jackson broke the record in the high jump, and Charlotte Henry broke the record in the long jump.
Hold on, back up there a little bit. Grace did high jump, long jump.
Yes, Grace did high jump,
I
and
didn't
Charlotte
know
did long
that.
jump.
I didn't
Yes,
know that.
yes,
Wow.
yes,
You
yes.
see, this is why I like these discussions, because I learn about my athletes that I'm very, very passionate about. I know that Grace did 100, 204, but
Oh,
jumps.
she when she came in on scholarship, it was because of the high jump.
Okay, interesting. Wow, interesting. Wow. What was your favorite moment or your most memorable moment competing for Jamaica?
Carifta Games, 1978. No,
Of
no,
course.
That was memorable. But you know what was the most memorable? Was 78 when I went to Jalapa, Mexico at the Junior CAC Games. And um, you know how the Cubans were there and they thought they were gonna win, you know, because because it's Cuba. And that was probably one of the most nervous times in race I've ever ran because they were in the race. And I remember it was cold and I pulled my pants, I kept my pants on as long as I could, right? You know how you have those situations wherein you get vexed when something happens, and then when time go by, you laugh. Well, instead of pulling my sweatpants off, I pulled the whole my bottom. It took 1 second to feel the cold breeze. We just all it up. It was too funny. I, Heather, behave yourself. I won the race, Heather. Heather, I got first for Jamaica because I was so mad and so embarrassed. I
Oh
won the race.
my
I
God.
won the
Doreen,
100.
Doreen, you're killing me.
Yes, yes, yes. You
This
asked
is
the question. Remember, I told you earlier.
You did say that, you did,
Don't
but
ask
I
me
love it. I love it
what
because I'm
what the like it
learning.
is.
The thing is, I'm not just learning about you, but I'm actually learning about teammates that you've had. Because as somebody said, Vivian Spence saying, new knowledge that Grace Jackson actually did the jumps. you
Yeah,
know uh, we're learning about Jackie and all of you guys. It is, I love it. If you were to pick one memorable moment for Jamaica in track and field, let's say started 1948 officially to date, which moment would that be for you? A Jamaican moment at global track and field.
let me tell you, Usain Bolt, when he took the triple. I mean, don't ask me what year because the memory don't. I'm
I
not.
was just about to ask you which of
Don't
the
ask me.
triple, because it's
Yes,
so triple. It's
yes,
all triple
yes,
for Mr.
yes.
Bolt.
It wasn't the first one.
Oh, it
It was
wasn't Beijing, so it
it
was
was when
Berlin.
he broke the record, and the reason why it sticks out like a sore thumb. I had a coworker. He and I got into an argument because he said he was being boastful, and I cursed him out at the Christian school. I cursed him out without cussing him out because I said to him, if you just broke the world record in the 100, you tell me, how would you respond? How would you behave? And I said, you know something, you're just jealous. And I walked away.
Bad mind.
Yes, yes, yes.
Indeed, indeed. You played netball in high school. You were a member of the Jamaica girls squad, traveling for the team, playing. And of course, you were a track and field standout. Which of those two sports, if you have to do it over again, you would choose?
Track.
Indeed. Of
You know why?
course.
Because track is an individual team sport.
Yeah.
In other words, I wouldn't need Heather or Jackie to win the 100. But for netball, I would need
A team.
the whole team. Yes.
Indeed, indeed. Indeed. Good pick. Good pick. I learned that you're not a lover of the false start. You hate the false start rule because when it happens, it throws you off your game. But you competed in an era where in track and field with the false start, you get a second chance. How did you feel when you heard in 2010 that they were going to change the false start rule to no chances?
I think it's crazy. I think it's unfair. Um, and I think sometimes some of those rules that they're creating, you wonder if some of those people ran were sprinters because you really find is the sprint races that get affected. I mean, as an official, I've seen multiple times where half milers jump the gun. It's rare, but it does happen. Um, but I just don't think it is fair that you know, you're one and done. I totally I'm against that. It's not fair at all. Not fair.
Yeah, it is. When I heard about it in 2010, I mean, I was like, how is this going to work? You know, but it seemed to be working. But what I don't get is that once you go on set, if you're uncomfortable in the blocks, you cannot raise your hand. You cannot call out to say, hey, I'm uncomfortable. I'm going to fall out the blocks.
That's
That's the
not true.
part. That's what I heard. That once you're on your mark, you can do that. But the minute you go on set, you cannot call for officials. That's not true.
Not to my knowledge. That's new to me.
That's what I get to understand. That once you're in the set position, you just have to stay there
Because
until the,
I work, college meets, and these people put their hands up, especially if when you go in the set position and the blocks is
and
moving,
you're not
you're
comfortable.
comfortable. You put your no. That's
I heard that you can't at that time. There's no help, and I'm trying to get an expert to explain how the rules work. But before I go any further with my questions, there's a question on the panel.
oh.
Lansford Lyons is asking, I am about times. What were your times in any of in the individual events that you did? Do you remember any of your times?
High school Carifta Games. I did 11-7.
Okay.
Um, I had way back. Didn't know this. I guess I had some record for high school. I didn't even know this. In the 100 at one point, but that's true or not. Someone told me. I'm not one to keep tabs on my stuff. When I was in college, my fastest was 11-4. That was back in, of course, in the 70s, late 70s.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah,
mm-hmm. Because as it is right now, 11-4
it's nothing.
is nothing.
Nothing.
A class three
Precisely.
girl is running 11-4. You know,
Cause
oh
them I eat some yam and banana,
yes, man.
some
Because our
fertilizer.
our fastest high school girl this season is not even a class one girl. She is a first year class two. Tiana Lee Terry Long from Edwin Allen. And she's running like 11-2.
Yeah,
11-2 is what she is running as as a first year class two. So she's not older than 15 or something like that.
but you see, what people need to realize
Amazing.
is the type of surfaces. Um, I ran on clay in Carifta.
Oh.
And one of my first Carifta games, 11. When I was in you was it on the 17? It was clay. I just found the pictures the other day with these 1 inch, like these 1 inch nails. But I think the surfaces have a lot also to do with these fast times.
Mm-hmm.
Because it depends on if you're on a mundo or just a regular chevron. The bounce is different.
And the
You know.
shoes too.
And
The
shoes.
shoes.
Oh,
Yeah.
without yes, the
The
shoes are
shoes.
are are light, almost to less than a pound.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right. The
yeah.
surface was way different
Oh,
back
yeah,
then in the 70s,
yes,
and
yes.
the shoes, even the running shoes that you
Oh
guys
gosh, yes,
wore
yes.
were different. So that would explain it.
And then the clothing is lighter, different. I'm not a fan of some of the outfits that I see, especially when I do the college meets. I'm embarrassed as a female, but I'm old school, so I
To
see.
see what the outfit that the ladies are wearing, the sexy outfits.
Yeah, the body rider them. Excuse my French.
I all right, let us go back to 2004 Olympic Games a little bit. What are your thoughts on that kit that our women wore in that historic 4 by 100-meter relay gold medal run? You remember that kit? 2004, it was like a bodysuit.
Oh,
Yes.
oh.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't
The,
know.
the race, the race itself, the race was good. I'm the outfit.
Personally, I don't know. Personally, I'm okay with the outfits that they're wearing on. Well, some of them, most of them. But I
Well,
mean, at this level of the game, what would you put them to run in? A pair of shorts?
no, no. Um, there is so much variety of uniform and styles that's out there now that they can wear. But you know, to each his own. You have some who like to show less, and some who like to show more.
Yeah,
It
because we
all
have
depends
some,
on the individual.
yeah, some of our female athletes, they don't like the panty.
Yes,
They don't like the panty. They prefer the little shorts.
the
Sharika
boy
will
sport.
say, no, I don't like the panty. And
That's
I,
okay, and that's why I'm gonna tell you, Sharika and Shelly, I have the utmost respect for them because whenever they step out there, you know, it's not about what they're wearing, but who's wearing what they're wearing. You know, um, because they are gonna be presentable and they're gonna perform as such. I just, I just don't think that, everybody should see to Africa.
I don't know. I feel like is place and time, and it. I guess it is appropriate. Someone is saying HP 1K Distance Academy, which is my organization. He's saying that them get three option: tights, panty, and bodysuit.
Good.
But not a lot of the women wear the tights. How many women wear the tights? Not a lot. And if we go
They
back,
wear them in warm-ups. They wear them in
yeah, they
warm-ups,
wear them in
and
warm-ups,
that's
but not
it.
in competition.
Correct.
If we go back to the Sydney Olympic Games, one person had on a tights, and it was Marianne Jones in the sprints. One person had on a tights, and her tights was almost down to her knee. So I guess it is, how you feel comfortable. But I mean, everything is evolving and all of these things happening. But my next question to you, oh, I did ask you about that earlier. As someone who has experienced highs and lows, what are some of the advice that you would give aspiring young athletes, especially from Jamaica?
One of the first things is don't forget who you are. Never compromise. Never settle for less than you deserve. Um, don't ever sell yourself short. Uh, I had a couple. I shared a story with you with being. I got off the bus in Mexico, and one of the officials said to me, "Ooh, small, nice skirt, easy access." And I just kind of, because my mother taught me to respect my elder.
How old were you back then?
I was 18.
18.
Yes,
And an official said that to you.
correct. Correct. Um, and it's you look back on those things, and the interesting thing is, I never wore pants, and because everything I wear, I'm always, is always long, below my knees. The only time you see me in shorts is for the race, and and to this day, with my athletes, as soon as they finish running, and if I catch them walking around, I snap at them. But coach is hot. I don't care. Put your pants on. The pants is not is Florida weather pants, so they're thin. Because Nike have different levels of thickness.
Yeah.
So but a lot of times they give up themselves because they think that somebody is gonna do, and in the long run they're just being used.
Yeah.
Um, and my
In
thing, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Sorry.
Um, you know, again, being brought up in a Christian home, and yes, we all stray away, and there are things that have to draw us back. And I'm firm a believer that a lot of times when we get ourselves in certain situations, we have to go back to basics. You know, go back to the root of what and who, meaning Jesus Christ, who made us who we are. Because anytime we forget that, we get beside ourselves. Um, it's not gonna be good.
Indeed. Looking back at your achievements, looking back at all your achievements, what What is the one thing, or choose one thing that you are most proud of as it
Being,
relates to your legacy?
oh, my kids. I have three sons, um, three different personalities. My eldest, he's 39, and um, at age 17, 16, he was selected for the high school Grammy Jazz Ensemble, and Heather and Jackie housed us while he performed in California, which he now where he now resides. He's a singer, songwriter, producer. He writes small, whatever you want to call it, director. And then my second son, he's played ice hockey. He was a goalie. He was well respected amongst his peers until, of course, injuries. So now he's coaching, and he's loved by his parents and his team, his players. And then I have my youngest son, who kind of followed in my footsteps. So he works out every day, and at age 26, he still competes. Yes. So that's his being a mother.
Beautiful.
Yes.
What a legacy. Reflecting on your athletic journey, what lessons have you learned that you would say helped you to overcome challenges, setbacks, and how did it influence you after life on the track?
Um, that injury, it gave me strength, because there were people who doubted whether or not I would even be able to compete again. And strange enough, Nebraska, who wanted me badly, and I turned them down because of the weather, even after the injury, was still calling me. But I was, to me, in a good space, at A&M. Um, like everything else, it was challenging because of the location, but I had a good support cast, from my teammates, in spite of, me not being able to compete with them. The support was there. And those things, it only made me stronger, because how I look at it is, if I can move on, um, after surgery, still compete, not at the highest level, but I still got my multiple All American awards, was part of a runner up D2 NC2A, team. Um, you know, I found strength in that, and say, what don't kill you, make you stronger.
Make you stronger.
Yes, yes, yes. And I've taken that into my, and I look at my mom. After my father passed away, he left her with 8 kids, and my cousin, who was living with us, that was 9. And you know, I told myself after my divorce that if my mom took care of 8, 9, 10, 11, what's 3? So when I go through, I think of my mom as well.
Beautiful, beautiful. I have two questions remaining. This one is, as a coach, as an athletic director and a coach, when setting up a relay team, a sprint relay team,
Mm-hmm.
what are some of the strengths that you look for in selecting your team? What are some of the things that you look for in your athletes when putting a team together for the sprint relay?
First and foremost, you have to make sure that the person who's doing the first leg can get up the blocks as fast as their coach used to. You have to make sure that the person who's running that third leg is able to run
A
a
good
curve,
curve.
a good curve
Mhm.
at full speed. Um, and most important, the last leg needs to be a pit bull. And
Yes, ma'am.
on the back stretch, um, you can have someone who is a strong 200 runner, or I usually put my weakest on the second leg, and I shorten their distance. So I
So
would
do
do,
you use the long zone when doing
well,
relays?
now it's just one zone. Everything's combined. It's now 30 meters.
30 meters, yes.
Yes, yes. Um, it depends on who's running what leg, and then you make adjustments accordingly. If
Okay.
if you have a strong, if your first leg is a strong person, then you'll shorten. You won't use the 30. You'll use the 20.
Oh, okay.
And if the person that's running the back stretch is a strong person, or it takes them a while to get going, then you use the 30. And then the person that's the outgoing runner, will use the 20.
Interesting.
That's neat.
Wow. Interesting. Yeah, very interesting. And it sounds like a winning team. But here's my final question to you, Miss Doreen. If you are invited to the Paris Olympic to run a special 4x1 relay, and you have to select three other people to run on that relay team with you for Jamaica, who would your other three teammates be? And it must be a winning team.
Jackie Pusey.
I know Jackie name would come up, I swear. It,
Jackie on the ankle leg. Lilith Hodges on the first leg, and Rosie on the second leg. And
that's
I would want,
Rosie Allwood from Titchfield, formerly of Titchfield.
yes, ma'am. And I would want the third leg.
Wow, what a team. Lilith to start, Rosie on the back,
Mm-hmm.
you on third, and Jackie to anchor. That sounds like a winning
Yeah,
team.
yeah.
Yeah. But you know something? I asked another person, and she was here earlier, Vivian Spence. I asked her the same question, and she talked about Rosie on the back also. She
Wow,
talked, yes, yeah.
wow.
She talked about, or was it Lilith? No, sorry, it was Lilith Hodges, who spoke about Rosie on the back. So it is very interesting now that you are lining up your team and you're also saying Rosie on the back. I need to find Rosie. I need to find Rosie. Doreen Small, this was an eye opener. This was very good. This was a very good discussion. I want to thank you for being here and thank you for taking the time out to share a lot with us because your name came up. I went to a track meet in Miramar 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. And Daniel England and myself and another friend, we were chatting. And in the middle of the conversation, the other guy just said to me, "Hey, what happened to Doreen Small?" That's all he said. What happened to Doreen Small? And I said, I'm not sure. And he said to me, "You need to ask Lilith Hodges." And I called Lilith the same day. And I said, "Lilith, do you know where I can find Doreen Small?" And she said, "Yes, man, yes. I'm going to call her right now." And here we are tonight. I love it. I love it. Thank you
Sorry I
very
took
much.
so long, but it's track season, so it was kind of hard to schedule.
No, you're fine. You're fine. The timing is right. Remember, it's not always about our timing.
Amen.
And
Amen.
it was perfect. And I
Amen.
thank you very much for being here. And before we close off, I am just going to give you the last word to say something, your closing remark.
First of all, running track, or as my friends say, I'm obsessed, passionate. Track is my life. There's a lot of things I do. I'm intentional, and it's from what I've gone through, throughout my track career, high school, college. Um, I love pouring into the life of young people. My passion is more so the younger kids, because I think if we put the time and the effort in the younger kids and groom them the right way, when they get to be teenagers, they won't be the way they are right now.
Indeed, indeed.
And I think we lose out on planting positivity in them, because we 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 deter from why you're doing this. And we cannot instill in them that everybody's going to make it to the Olympics. You know, track is a means,
Indeed.
and if we look at it for what it really can do for you, it will help you to be a better person. I teach my kids right now. I said, I want you to get yourself in a position where you can get your scholarship to college. I'm not telling you that I want you to go to the Olympics. I want you to use track and field as a means for you to get your education without having have to pay $60,000 or being stuck with a loan like most people do. And and to make sure you keep God first and foremost above
Indeed.
all else,
Indeed.
because without Him, we are absolutely nothing,
Nothing.
nothing, nothing. I want to thank you. I want to thank my coaches and my teammates, and the ones that I've kept in touch with over the years, and even the ones that not weren't teammates but just friends. That we still keep in touch every blue moon. We touch bases. You know, I love and appreciate y'all, and thank you
Thank
for
you
having
so
me.
much. Anytime, anytime. Thank you so much for making the time to be here, everyone. Again, Doreen Small. We know her as Doreen Small, formerly of Camperdown High School, the Sprint Factory, but more so St. Mary High School in the parish of St. Mary. Girls Champs winner 1976 and 1977. Doreen Small. Thank you very much for being here. And of course, the audience loved you. They loved you. I mean, they're all
Thank
saying
you.
great interview and all of that. Great.
Thank
But
you.
I don't want you to go because now I am going to introduce or reintroduce a project I'm working on in Jamaica. My nonprofit organization is working on a project in Jamaica. It is called HP 1K Distant Academy. And what this is we're trying to revive Jamaica's middle and long distance program, because for the young ones who are not aware, Jamaica's legacy started officially with the 800 meters at the 1948 Olympics and the 1952 Olympics. It did not start with the sprint. It started with the 800 meters, and of course that lovely quinella by Jamaica in 1948 and 1952 with Mr. Herb McKinley and Arthur Wint and Mr. George Roden. So this project is happening in Jamaica, and guess where it is happening? We are starting in St. Mary. Saint Mary, yes, Doreen, that is why I don't want you to leave. Saint Mary, we are. And we're starting at the grassroots level. So funny you just said to start with the young people, and that's what we're doing, grassroots. These athletes, they're not older than 12. Most of them are from 7 to, let's say, 13. And we're trying to condition them so that they can get into scholarship into a high school where they can further develop their talent. Of course, we know that a lot of Jamaican athletes are from humble beginning, so wherever we can help. So this is a project that myself and my good friend Kino is working on. He is a coach from St. Mary. He's a young coach, started out in St. Mary, and of course I, being the CEO, is running the operation from behind the scene. And of course we are here to beg. We are here to beg. And of course, I need to say thanks to Miss Vilma Charlton. I haven't seen her tonight, but she's always here. Thanks to Miss Vilma Charlton, who have given us a link with another Jamaican who will be providing us with some spikes. So I just want to say thanks to Miss Vilma Charlton for that link. And I also want to thank another sponsor, Lilith Hodges, who is also from St. Mary for her donation. Lily, thank you very, very, very much. And there's also another person that I want to thank, Dr. Robinson, Dr. Glenroy Robinson, for his contribution. He is actually a very technical old boy, and of course, he is contributing to to this great project that we're trying to do. And of course, these youngsters, we have some top high schools who are who are willing to offer them scholarship. So I just need you guys help. I'm on a drive I'm begging sneakers. I'm begging anything that you guys can give so I can help these young people, these children in Jamaica, in St. Mary. And of course, the parents are very appreciative because one of them said to me, she said, Miss HP, nobody has ever done anything like this for us. So we're very appreciative. Of course, they are very supportive of the project that we are working on to help these young people to realize their dreams. So, guys, I am on a begging spree. I'm begging each person a pair of sneakers. You don't have to send me any money. You can just buy it and ship it to me. I'm begging a pair of sneakers, some tights, whatever, personal items, whatever you can give, slippers, whatever you can give. I'm begging. So I'm on a drive for sneakers and slippers. And as I said before, you don't have to send me any money. You can buy it and ship it to me. You can contact me and I will give you my address and you can ship it to me. So the aim is to start in St. Mary. And as I tell you guys, St. Mary is my new parish. I'm a
Big up,
Saint.
big up.
No, remember you're from Portland, stop it.
Hey. It depends on how you look at it.
Yes, exactly. I totally agree. But guys, I need your help. Miss Doreen, I need your help. I know that you are well connected and I need your help to do this. And of course, Miss Lilith has already done something. And all the others, all the athletes who are helping, Miss Vilma Charlton, Vivian Spence, Dorothy Scott, Etlin Tate, everybody, Lansford Lions, Kino, Marlene, everybody, thank you very much wherever you're coming from. Heather Pusey, thank you very much for being here. Please to bless up the wonderful Miss Jackie for me. She's supposed to be coming back on the program, but it's hard to pin down Jackie because of her schedule. But I'm hopeful that she will smile on me very, very soon. And then everybody who have been asking about Jackie Pusey will get an opportunity to see this outstanding St. Mary young lady who won Girls Champs twice. How many schools can say that? Not a lot. So, Miss Doreen,
Thank you.
I thank.
I will speak with you off the air because where the
Yes.
sneakers and stuff is concerned.
Okay. Yeah, we can talk off the air. I already am feeling positive about that. I don't know what it is, but knowing me, I'm very positive and
You
a
have to
positive.
be.
Yes, I'm a positive
You have
thinker
to be.
and yes, and I thank you very much. We will talk about that. So guys, wherever in the world that you are, you can buy a pair of sneakers, a pair of slippers and ship it to me. Just contact me off air and I will give you my details. You don't have to send me any money. And also, I have a program within the program called Adopt a Child. So what you will do is you can adopt a child for 6 months, a year, 2 years, how long you want to adopt them for, and just help them with little things. It doesn't have to be a lot. If it's $20 a month, if it's $20 for 2 months, whatever, groceries, personal items, help with their training, it doesn't matter what it is. So I want you to think about that, guys, because I'll be promoting adopting a kid or a child, I should say. And we just want to make Jamaica middle and long distance good again. I'll use that word, good again. Please don't judge me, please. But yes, that's what we're about. Kino and myself, as I said before. He's from St. Mary. And these athletes, they're coming from a place named Enfield in St. Mary. I don't know where that is. Another place
Bush,
called another
Bush.
place Bush. Okay, another place called May River. I don't know where that is. Another Bay, I know because I passed through Another Bay to go to Portland. I used to go to Portland a lot. So I know Another Bay, but and what's the name? Enfield and May River. I don't know, but very soon I'll be taking a trip and a tour into. Okay, Kino, who is a coach from St. Mary, he's saying, and Enfield is not Bush, but of course he will say that. But that's his hometown, St. Mary. So we are looking to do great things starting in St. Mary. And of course, the vision is to go around the island and see how best we can set up and help these children because so many talents are in Jamaica, but because of the lack of resources, many just walk away and not get an opportunity to realize their dreams. So I want to be a pioneer in this, and this is why I'm doing this because most of our track clubs in Jamaica is really producing sprinters, so the idea is for us to tap into the middle and long distance and do something different. So Jamaica can have 3 entries in the 800, three in the 15, whatever, at the global level within the next year. Okay, Kino from St. Mary saying Enfield is pure bush for real. Another Bay, my hometown, is the city. Okay. So he is agreeing with you, Miss Doreen, that Enfield is bush. No matter what I want to call it, St. Mary will come from. I mean, St. Mary. So, guys, I just want to introduce my project with you that I'll be working on. And St. Mary people, I need your help. Everybody from Jamaica, wherever you are, friends of St. Mary, let
Well,
us do this and help these young people.
based on where I work, I will, and the caliber of kids that I coach, I know that there are couple families I will speak to them, along with I will do my part personally as well. I will speak to them and see. Yes,
Thank you very much, Miss
you're welcome.
Doreen. And
You're
thank you
welcome.
very much, guys, for being here tonight. Thanks to everyone who has joined us.
Boy,
Dorothy.
I can't believe I sit down for 2.5 hours.
You see what I told you? I told you that you would not be bored. What did I tell you? I told you you wouldn't be bored and you would be fine. I know how to, yeah, yeah. I can have
Trust
people
me.
chatting all night. I've
Yes,
I've
trust.
had talkers come on this show and they said, okay, I'll give you 45 minutes. And they're here for 2 hours plus. But I like it. It is, as my motto said, one people, one legacy. It's about Jamaica and Jamaica track and field. And my aim is to promote our legacy and to promote the people who have done it, the pioneers, the people who did it without being paid, like yourself and many others. So that's what I'm about. And stories like these is what I realize is what my audience want to hear. Authentic story from the people who have done it. Dorothy Scott is saying, my husband is from St. Mary, so I won't hold it against you, HP. I know you won't, Auntie. I know you won't. I know you won't. Um, Track Hero is saying it's ridiculous that primary athletes run 800 and class 4 can't. I totally agree with you, Track Hero, that I was saying the same thing today, that primary school children are running 800 meter, but when they get to high school, they're not running the 800 meters until they get to class 3. And I don't know why. For the life of me, I don't know why. But track hero, I would love to have a discussion with you on that topic. He's saying adopt Dahlia Fairclough, Carifta champion, 1500 meters from St. Mary High School was amazing. I I don't know. Hero, I don't know. For too long, the middle and long distance is sleeping. And when you see, we produce so many of these athletes at the boys and girls champs, but when you look at us going to global championships, there's hardly we hardly can find two entries per event. Right now we're depending on Natalia Gould, Adele Tracy, and young Navaski Anderson. Hopefully more will come through the ranks, but the idea for HP 1K Distance Academy is to revive Jamaica, bring back Jamaica in the middle and long distance at the global level, because that was where we started winning Olympic medals. We started at the 400 and the 800, and I cannot say it enough. The sprints came after. People, the sprints came after. We started winning medal in the sprints way after. A matter of fact, Jamaica's first Olympic medal in the sprints came at the 1980 Olympics by Merlene Joyce Otti Page. At the time, she won bronze in the 200 meters at the 1980 Olympic Games. So, guys, it did not start in the sprints. Mr. Herb McKinley won a silver medal in the 100 yards, 1952. But the real deal came 1948 and 1952 with that Quinella in the 400 meter. Jamaica won Quinella 1948 and 1952. 1948 with Mr. Herb McKinley and Mr. Arthur Wynne. And then 4 years later, we repeat again with Herb McKinley and Mr. George Roden. And of course, those two Olympic Games, Jamaica won silver in the 800 meters. So please, let us get the middle and long distance program on the road. Lansford Lyons is saying at Calabar, we couldn't get guys to try out for the distance. There you go. We have to start with them early, Lansford. We have to start with them at this age, get into their psychological space and let them know that they can have glory at any event. They can have glory at any event. But look at Rhodesia. Look at Rhodesia from Kenya, record holder in the 800 meters. He wasn't running the sprints. Look at Mofara from Great Britain. He was running 5,000 and 10,000, and he got glory in those events. So it is not all about the sprints, guys. So please, HB1K Distance Academy, we're starting from the grassroots level. Of course, we're going to build on that, but that's where we are starting. And I need your help. As I said before, I'm on a drive to get some sneakers, some socks, some slippers, vitamins, whatever you can afford to give, it's okay. And remember, no donation is too small. So guys, we're going to leave now because it's like 2.5 hours. Oh my God, 2.5 hours, Miss Doreen.
Yes,
Miss
ma'am.
Doreen, are you with me?
I'm still here.
2.5 hours. And guys, thank you for being here. As usual, it was good. And next week we will do it all over again when I will have another athlete in my chair. Of course, this athlete will be one of the babies, a baby athlete. I'm not going to tell you guys who it is. You have to turn up next week to see who will be in the chair. HP1K is saying, you've got to make them love the distance. Yeah, you have to make them love it. You have to start from they are early. So I want you guys to adapt a child and help us build this thing, because very soon we're going to be hearing that 3 athletes in the men's 800 meter at the Olympic Games came through HP1K Distance Academy. And remember, it takes a village. My grandmother always say it takes a village, and I was raised by a village. So let's help these young people and Again, I sent Mary the thing there right now. Sent Mary it there. So let us do that. So, guys, thank you very much for being here. Doreen.
My netball coach just called me. She bust my chops. So I'm butchering her name. It's Ventris Vital.
Yes, somebody mentioned her name. Somebody typed her name. I think it was Dorothy or Lily
Heather.
or Heather.
Heather, yes,
Heather,
yes.
yes.
She was just calling me and I didn't pick up, but I'm gonna call her.
Okay, good. Say good night to her for me. And thank
Yes.
you guys. Thank you all
Okay.
for being here. Track Diamond. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much. I need you all to adopt a child. Guys, thank you very much for being here. And I will see you next week. Peace.
We're running it all the way, we're in the lead. We're running it, finish line is all I see. Get up on, no, don't stop. Future bright, the vibes nice, oh gosh. No time for slow down, just sprint, can't lapse. We walk the talk, just ask me both tracks. So come through, let's talk about it, what you say? Your girl HP is on her mark, so get set ready.
On your mark, set, go.
Oh yeah, make we chat about it.
What the fastest?
Make we chat about it.
Or on let's
Make we chat about it.
check and feel at the topic.
Oh, make we chat about it.
Latest
Make we
news,
chat about it.
all your
Make we
views.
chat about it.
Track and feel chat for say. With your girl HP.